All right. It's very confusing to most of our loyal listeners because you're probably listening to this on a Wednesday morning. And
You're all discombobulated.
oh my gosh, who's that? That's not Kevin. We have a special edition of the Wait for It Seattle podcast. Kevin is a hardworking lawyer. So we're running back an old throwback format
segment
called the Wife Cast.
It's not usually the whole podcast. It's just a segment usually, but
Today you get a whole podcast. So I'm joined by my wife, Dana Elsner.
Dana Beaudry Elsner.
Okay, great. To talk about Seattle sports. So Dana, let's talk about your accomplishments as an athlete to give people an understanding of your credibility here on the podcast.
I'm still just rattled we're doing this without a sound check.
I already did the sound check before you got here.
That's why. Okay, I was like, how are we doing this without levels being checked? All right. You don't have to list my accomplishments as an athlete.
A 4-year varsity letter winner in high school soccer, a collegiate track athlete,
and cross country,
a longtime high school soccer coach.
I was a junior Olympian twice.
You said I didn't have to name all your accomplishments, then you just went back to junior Olympics.
Sorry.
And then most importantly, a 5th grade girls volleyball coach.
This is not just, and when he says most recently, I have been involved, participating in the sport of volleyball for approximately 9 days now.
And you just spent 2 hours on a Zoom
paying very close attention to very wacky rules and scorekeeping. Scorekeeping sounds mind-blowing. I also got a text from the head coach, my co-coach. Paul's taking care of it. Thank you, Paul.
Okay. All right, we're going to jump in. Our first segment we usually do is called 4 Downs.
Right.
And
so you know, I had no idea I was doing the whole podcast with you. I thought I was just doing a segment.
All right. Well, here we go.
I'm really prepared.
Okay. You don't have to be. That's the fun part.
Right.
Right? Your reactions to what's happening. So first down, we call 4 Downs Kevin Kelly time, who had a 3-8 season this year. But that's not
Kevin Kelly time.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Got it.
Okay, first down. This is not Seattle sports necessarily, although I'll tie it in at the end. Big news in the sports landscape.
Because isn't there only one Seattle sports happening right now? Is Kraken? There's college sports. I just forget what's happening.
Let's stay on track.
I'll listen. Okay? You talk.
Yeah, this co-host dynamics here. Okay, so first down. Luka Doncic was traded to the Los Angeles Lakers.
And you lost your mind. Probably some of you lost your minds.
The Lakers got Luka, and the Mavericks got Anthony Davis. What's your reaction?
I was busy reacting to how you guys were all reacting to me sitting there on a Saturday evening. What were we watching? What did it interrupt?
Gonzaga St. Mary's.
We were watching Gonzaga.
Came on and announced it.
Well, no, but before that, it was on the bottom line.
The guy said it live. He said, I just got text of an NBA trade.
I missed the audio. I only saw the bright red flashing bar at the bottom. And I was just reading it like it was just another trade.
Well, how do you feel now? It's not just another trade. This is big time.
Not for me. I'm just a spectator. I have to take down the collaged artwork I made at the first of the year that says, hey kids, your mom loves you, from Luka Doncic, and he's wearing number 77 in a Mavs jersey. Now I have to just crumple that collage work up and get a new one. Will he be number 77? That's my biggest question. Okay.
He is, yes. He's wearing 77.
Okay, then I'm cool.
All right, who do you think wins the trade? Do you think the Mavericks will be better with Anthony Davis?
This blows my mind. Sorry, this part blows my mind.
Or do you think Luka will be better with LeBron?
I am interested in the dynamic between Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked you that the other day. I know the words came out of my mouth. You were excited and still talking about something else, and you didn't hear me ask you the question. Because I was saying, have they ever played together before? Because I feel like...
I think they played together.
How many teams has Anthony Davis played for?
Okay, do you want me to answer the first question?
No. I want to know how many teams Anthony Davis has played for.
Anthony Davis started with the New Orleans Pelicans.
Okay.
And then he was traded to the Los Angeles Lakers.
So
this is his third team now. Yeah.
Well, this is his third, right?
Yeah.
I thought he was more of a journeyman. Yeah, there's a lot of big personalities, and then the possibility for volatility. Maybe that's what people want to buy their seats, the front row seats to. But uh, I I think it's yeah. I don't. Yeah, obviously LeBron's gonna retire sooner rather than later, so they need a superstar, and they chose Luca.
Okay. And then De'Aaron Fox got traded to the
Right,
Spurs
from the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah, very
He was
good.
playing there
to
with
join up
Sabonis.
with Wemby.
Right.
What do you think about De'Aaron Fox with Wemby?
And
on
then
the
where
Kings?
did you say that? Where?
On the Spurs. Sorry.
Spurs. Yeah, I was
Spurs,
gonna
yeah.
say
Sorry.
Wemby doesn't play on the Kings. Seems exciting. I know Fox is a really fun player to watch.
Yeah, there you go.
He's dynamic.
High
What do you
level.
mean? There you go.
What do you? That's all, that's all I'm saying.
Here's your cookie. Thank you.
Oh, that's not what I was saying at all. This is fun. All right. So these are
You're
two
just used to winning
big
the
trades.
podcast.
That's true. Kevin does roll over pretty fast. Fox was, kind of a normal-ish NBA trade, but he's an all-star. But the Luka trade is, people call it the biggest trade in NBA.
Well, it's like
history.
celestial. It's like what did they always say in the women's NCAA tournament? They would be like, "There's stars, there's superstars," and Caitlin Clark is like a solar system or whatever. Yeah, this is more like a planet. This is like Pluto getting demoted. New size
or
news.
re-promoted, maybe even.
Re-promote. It's just like I didn't mean. There's no metaphor for
Okay,
Pluto.
I'm going to
It's
move
just
on
more like
to
the
my
type of news.
next
Like
part of this that I wanted to ask you.
scratch that.
Okay. I looked up the best trades in Sonic's history, and I want you to tell me which one you think's the best.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
I'm on
They
it.
never had a Luka
Or
type
will they
trade.
happen? Will all of these trades happen within my living memory?
They're in your lifetime.
Okay, thanks.
Doesn't mean you'll remember them.
Doesn't mean I won't.
The Sonics acquired Dale Ellis for Al Wood,
I remember that.
Sam Perkins for Doug Christie
He
and
won.
Benoit Benjamin,
Yeah.
Detlef for Derek McKee and Gerald Padilla.
How many of these are you listing?
One more.
Okay.
And then the fourth is Ray Allen, Flip Murray, Kevin's favorite, Kevin Ollie, and a first-round pick for Gary Payton and Desmond Mason. Which one do you think is the best trade in Sonics history?
So, Flip is a person's name. It's not a trade
it's his
term.
nickname.
Okay, but
Ronald
you're not
Flip
saying.
Murray.
Okay. And just as a sample, you listed 4 different trades there.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
did.
Can you read the Detlef Shrimp one again? Because I just need to make
The
sure I
Sonics
understand.
acquired Detlef
Got
Schrempf,
it.
and they
Full.
traded away Derek McKee and a man who apparently existed named Gerald Padilla.
That was probably a pretty good trade.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I
That
was
a
I
good
was thinking that one. Then you said Ray Allen, excuse me. But I think you said they traded away Ray Allen. That's
one.
what
No, well, they traded away Gary Payton and Desmond Mason.
How
so-
old was Gary Payton?
He was still in his prime. The
Who did
reason
he go to?
the Milwaukee Bucks, but this is the reason why people would sometimes say this might be the best trade, is that Gary Payton never won anything with the Bucks. He went on to win other places and continued to
ever
have a
win an
successful career.
NBA
he did
championship?
with the Miami Heat. Yeah.
Oh, good for him. I love
Yeah.
Gary Payton.
But Ray Allen was really, really good for the Sonics.
He was
but
stupendous.
trading Gary Payton is tough. So I like your choice at Detlef. That's a good one.
I think that's the best
shout out to
one.
Sam Perkins, 'cause
Coming
that
in
was-
second to Ray Allen. And then I love Sam Perkins. And then whatever the first one you said. Sorry, whoever's involved in that.
Dale Ellis.
Dale Ellis. I would have said, if you had said, what sport did Dale Ellis play? I would have said Mariners.
Okay. Second down.
No offense, Dale Ellis.
Lot of stuff happening in the WNBA.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just going to list some things for our listeners to
Mm-hmm.
catch up. Here's some winners of free agent time right now. And this
In the middle of the season.
no, the Unrivaled is going on. WNBA is not happening.
Oh,
right now.
sorry.
Yeah.
So sorry. Yes,
So,
I get it. And then I
off-season,
forget that. Yeah.
Acquisition time. The Atlanta Dream, who were pretty irrelevant last year, have now signed Brittany Griner and
Yep.
an all-star forward named Brianna Jones.
Mm-hmm.
The Indiana Fever, of Caitlin Clark fame as well as others, signed DeWanna Bonner, an all-star, Natasha Howard, a former Storm player, and Sophie Cunningham.
I remember Natasha Howard.
The Phoenix Mercury, Diana Taurasi appears to retire. Brittany Griner gone, but they acquired.
Did you say appears to retire or
she
has
hasn't
retired?
officially announced it.
Okay, got it.
Alyssa Thomas acquired via trade. She's an all-star. She's a triple-double threat. And Satu Sabali, who is a strong forward, she got acquired also by the Mercury. So those are all the kind of winners, in my estimation, of the WNBA, which leaves our Seattle Storm, who we talked about last week, Kevin and I, the trade Jewel Lloyd for the number 2 overall pick. Since that time, NECA has re-signed our second team All WNBA
Her sister
player.
was very happy about that.
Her sister is very happy. Broke the news. So they need to keep filling their bench. It seems like they'll have a starting lineup of Skylar Diggins-Smith, Gabby Williams, Jordan Horston, Neko Ogumike, and Ezi Magabor, and then the number 2 pick and Lee Yaru, who we acquired from the Sparks off the bench, but they need some more players. So what do you think about that starting 5? Skylar Diggins-Smith, Gabby Williams. Remember Gabby Williams from France in the Olympics?
Well, in my notes, because again, I'm just going to remind all of our loyal listeners here, I wasn't prepared for a whole podcast. I was just prepared
We'll just
for
pretend
my
this
segment.
is another segment.
I get it. So I'm making notes, and just so for the record, let the record show, as you were writing, I'm writing questions, but by Gabby, I wrote Heart Gabby.
Great.
I love
okay,
Gabby.
so we like that. Jordan Horston, NECA, and Ezi. You think that's a good enough starting 5?
Can you just point to where you're reading those names from?
Well, they're in my memory, but they're also written down on these notes, yes.
Horson. Okay.
I just want your off the cuff. Like, what's your reaction? Good enough?
I think it'll take work because I think that some of those players aren't that easy to play with.
Oh.
And they're tricky teammates.
Oh, I like it.
And some of them sound like amazing teammates.
Yeah.
And so I'm always about chemistry. Sorry, I should lean forward.
No, you're fine. I had a dream that Dewana Bonner, who I really like, would sign at the Storm, but she signed with Indiana
Mercury?
Fever.
Indiana Fever.
Nope.
No. I just want to see what it says right there.
These are the show notes.
Skylar
You
Diggins
can't
Smith,
just rip
Gabby,
the show notes away.
Horston. And then do we know who the number 2 pick is likely going to be?
It'll be in April. Olivia Miles from Notre Dame is our hope.
Right, because the number 1 will be Paige.
Paige will be number 1.
And goes to?
Dallas Wings.
Oh, go Wings.
But maybe she won't want to play there.
Pegasus Wings? Because the Dallas Mavericks are like horses?
I don't.
No, it's the Spurs. Mavericks are horses.
Horse.
Pegasus
There's
wings.
horse themes in Dallas.
You know,
Cowboys.
I'm going to get too distracted because
Mavericks.
now all I can talk about is how one time I did a deep dive into WNBA mascots and they're mainly men mascot names, and that's weird. So I hope it's a female Pegasus Wings.
They're mostly.
Oh, you don't want to go into this with me right now.
But the Fever is not male or female.
No, sorry. Like the person in the fuzzy suit.
Yeah.
They're all made in like a place in Arkansas.
Oh yeah.
They when I checked in 2022, a lot of their backs, they all have like origin stories. It's super weird. It's like a subculture. I don't know. So many of them had male names, and it was weird.
That is fair.
And once I saw 3 male names, I had to look at all of the mascots. We can talk about it later when I'm refreshed because I kind of blocked it from my memory.
This would be a great segment for your own podcast. Okay. 3rd down.
We're already on the 3rd one.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Mariners re-signed Jorge Polanco.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you remember Jorge
think
Polanco
you're
from
so
last year?
excited. He played second base.
I'm not excited.
And he might play 1st or 3rd now.
3rd, yeah.
3rd. Who's 1st? Not
Luke
Baguette.
Rayleigh.
Not the guy with the
We
baguette.
like Luke Rayleigh.
Ty French?
Ty Francis, nowhere.
But was he first base before the baguette?
He did, yeah.
Luke Rayleigh.
Luke Rayleigh. We like Luke Rayleigh.
A lot, yeah, I remember. Did we have a cutie name we would cheer for him? Or?
I mean, his nickname is Nuke Rayleigh.
Oh.
Like he hits nukes.
Yeah, I get it. Piss missiles, swamp bombs, swamp monsters.
All right.
10-year-old baseball's the
This
best.
is the lineup. I just
Okay.
want to get your reaction, okay? Because Jerry DiPoto.
We're
thinks
talking you're
Mariners.
gonna list 9 people right now.
I am.
Okay.
If you let me get to it. Jerry DiPoto said this week, "Sure, we're open to other things, but we feel good about this team. We're excited about it."
Jerry has to say that.
Well, people don't like Jerry.
Well, that's why I said Jerry has to say that.
Robles leading off. Victor Robles, great vibes. Remember him last
great
year?
vibes, not good vibes.
No, he's great vibes. Yeah. Remember he was mic'd up in Sunday Night Baseball and he was hilarious.
Was he playing center field?
He was at the time because Julio was out. Yeah.
Then yes, I do
And remember he
him.
has monkeys.
Yes. Yeah.
At his house. Okay. So Victor Robles will be in right field. Then Julio.
Thanks for reminding me that I love
Cal
Victor
Raleigh.
Robles. Julio center field. Okay, but
Big
right
Dumper.
field. Okay, yeah, I got it. Cal
Then
Raleigh,
Randy
catcher.
Rosarena, who we acquired via trade last year. Randy's in
I
left field.
remember really liking Randy.
Yep. Great batting gloves.
And I
lots of
watched him
flash.
make a few catches out there in left field.
Well, you'd be the only one.
Because you know at Safeco T-Mobile, it like goes behind the corner there. You kind of disappear.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Probably Luke Rayleigh next, although he can't. I don't think he can hit left-handed pitching, so that's a problem.
Okay.
So against lefties, who knows? Then a Mitch. Could be Haniger, could be Garver.
Oh God,
they're both on the team. They're both not
Did
exciting.
either of them ever have super long hair and do a like
no, that
commercial?
I think you're thinking of Justin Turner. He's not back yet. The red.
I don't think. No, it wasn't red.
Okay.
No, I know who you're talking about,
All
but
right.
he's a journeyman.
Then Polanco at third, and second base is Donovan Solano, who we signed. He's 37.
I don't know him.
Or Dylan Moore, who you probably know. You probably would recognize him.
Oh yeah, I know Dylan
And then
Moore.
JP batting
Crawford.
ninth.
Yeah, I was really worried because they couldn't.
What do you think about
'Cause
that
you're
lineup?
keeping your notes
Good
over
enough?
Good enough for what? Being relevant in September?
Going to the playoffs. That's what we want.
Sure hope so.
Who's the weak link to you in that lineup?
Well, Rayleigh, because you said he can't hit left-handed pitchers, and who's the other guy with Dylan Moore?
Donovan Solano?
If Dylan Moore walked by me on the street, I wouldn't know who he was, but I know his name. I mean, I don't know his face. Mitchell? Oh, one of the Mitches.
Yeah. The one of the Mitches is probably the biggest issue we have right now.
Haniger or...
Mitch Garver. I mean, maybe Mitch Garver will have a comeback.
Is he younger?
but no. We signed him from Texas last year.
I'm feeling pretty lukewarm about this lineup.
All right. Well, that's you along with everybody else. Fourth down.
Okay.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if the Husky men's basketball team's having a resurgence.
Ooh! I love the Husky men's basketball team.
Oh, tell me more.
So...
What a
I
reaction.
like... What I dislike is when people talk about teams and seasons based on their record, solely based on their record. The Huskies men's basketball team is proving my point of, if you look at their record, it doesn't tell just their record. It doesn't tell the story of how scrappy they are and how close their games have been and how much heart they put into their games. And their record doesn't always reflect that. And I like that about their team, because I hope now that starts getting fragile, because then your morale can start getting low because you're not winning, because the dopamine hit, it feels good to win. So I'm interested how Danny Sprinkle maintains that motor, keeps that motor running, keeps it running. But I think that they have to play all the teams twice, right?
Not quite, but we'll talk about the
Okay.
schedule in a second. I think it's a great point you bring up. That
This
they
is something
play...
I was thinking about doing the dishes the other day.
Okay. Can I go now?
Mm-hmm.
They play... You're right. They play really hard, even when they were 1-8 in the Big Ten.
Correct.
They beat Minnesota on the road. That's a major win for them.
Yep.
Minnesota's
Too
not...
bad nobody was
not-
watching, because it was
it was-
just on
was
like
at
a
9 a.m.
Saturday morning.
Yeah, I was watching.
Yeah, I was watching.
Minnesota has 4 wins in the Big Ten, and it's on the road, and Minnesota had just beaten some good teams.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a good win for the Huskies. But here's why I say resurgence. It's not just because they won a game finally after losing a bunch in a row.
Right.
Here are their next opponents.
Okay.
Nebraska.
So I'm really excited about this.
This will go to your point. Can they
Okay.
keep their morale high?
Yeah.
Nebraska 4-7 in the Big Ten.
Oh, but what story does that record tell? I'm just joking. I won't say-
Northwestern 3-8.
Okay.
Ohio State 5-6, best team out of this group.
Okay.
Penn State 3-9. Rutgers 4-7, which we have tickets to, and Iowa 4-7.
That's on
So it's
February
possible-
6th, right? The Rutgers game's on February 6th.
I don't know. It's possible in the next 6 games, if you're conservative, they could win 3. Maybe they could even win 4 or 5 of them. Then all of a sudden, you're looking at, even though you don't want to talk about record, you're looking at a team that's almost close to 500 in Big Ten play. Am I getting ahead of myself?
Well, I have 2 things. One, I got totally distracted because I was like, oh,
Dana just asked if she could curse on the podcast. I did last week once. Yeah.
okay, I won't do it then.
Okay.
Okay, you guys will get the point. I got super distracted because you said we have tickets to Rutgers, and then I was like, oh, we have tickets on February 6th. That's in 2 days.
It's not on February 6th.
Do we have it? I'm pretty sure we have it.
Let's not talk about the family
Okay.
calendar on the podcast.
Right. Well, I got distracted by that.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
back to this. You're doing a lot of record talking, so I don't know the stories behind those records. Were any of those games close? But I mean, yeah, that looks by the numbers, by the bare bones numbers, like the easy stretch of their season.
Right. So am I getting ahead of myself, or do you think the Huskies have a shot to get back to
When you say
relevance?
getting, what are
Well-
you getting ahead of, and what do you want? You just want them to be
I
relevant?
started with, is there a resurgence?
I got
That was
totally
the
derailed
question.
thinking
Oh,
about
okay.
our family calendar.
All right.
Resurgence,
Well, that
yes.
was 4 downs.
No.
All right. That was.
I don't think you're getting ahead of yourself. I think they have a good chance of battling to victories through, I would say, how many games did you list?
6.
5-1.
Oh. Dana's getting ahead of herself. All right. Our segment today.
And it won't be Ohio State. They'll beat Ohio State.
You did a great job with 4 downs. Thanks for that. We hit a lot of the news. But we're going to talk about
Our family
soccer
calendar.
expertise.
Whether we have tickets to a Husky game, what
Oh my
day is
God.
it on?
All right. Dana
Sorry.
talks soccer. Okay?
Okay.
First, we're going to talk about the rain.
Okay.
Okay. You're a season ticket holder.
Mhm.
You follow mostly the Reigns off-season.
Mhm.
Would you agree with me that they were absolutely terrible last year?
I don't use superlatives like that, but I lost. As you can tell, I get distracted easily. I didn't pay attention to the whole 90 of all the games.
Yeah.
But I also found moments, and like I was searching for connection to the players too, like personal. Like I wanted to be invested and interested.
Yeah, I had no interest in any of it.
Remember,
on the field,
but
the
then
players,
one of the okay.
they were bad. Okay. So,
There was a few like when they came in, the energy shifted. Them like, and I could tell. And one of those players got traded.
who was that?
How? Remember
yeah, we
and
liked
then
her.
we liked Anna Maria Cernikonovic. Oh man, I used
She's
to
still
say
on
it
the
so
team.
easily.
Yeah.
Anna Maria Cernikonovic.
Okay.
Cernikonovic.
So, do you think the acquisitions they've made
Cernikonovic. Sorry.
and the players they got last year and the youth they have are they going to be better this year? Like, will they compete for a playoff spot with what they have?
Is that? I mean, what?
Yes, that's what matters to me.
Okay.
Maybe the vibes in your
Yes,
personal
they'll make it to
connection
the playoffs.
when
It
you
feels
look
like
at their-
everybody made it to the playoffs.
Well, the Rain did not.
Well, it felt like they did.
Well, they
Maybe I'm thinking of
certainly
the
did
year
not.
before.
They weren't.
It was the
close.
year before
Yeah.
that they.
Oh, you
played-
mean when they had Rose Lavelle? Yes, they were good then.
Oh yeah, and then they made it to the. They even made it to the.
Yeah, they were
No,
good.
the semifinal that year.
They were quite.
No, they were in the final.
They were quite good.
When
with
did
Rose
Megan
Lavelle and
Rapinoe
Megan
tear
Rapinoe.
her?
Yes.
When did she tear her Achilles?
That was 2 years ago.
In the final or the semifinal?
Who cares? Last year
care.
they were bad.
2 years ago, the year before that, they made it to the semifinal as at the game in a box seat.
Okay, great. So
They played Kansas City.
the big acquisition was Lynn Williams, who now has a different last name. So we're just going to
And
call
I
her
have
Lynn.
not practiced saying
because I
her
haven't
last
practiced
name
it
yet.
either. So we're going to call her Lynn. Lynn's a big one. There's, some other small additions here or there, but do you think
I love Lynn.
is Lynn enough?
I don't know. I know that
Yeah, but
she covers
do you
a
understand
lot
that
of
on a
ground.
podcast? I don't know. It's boring.
Well, do you know that you're married to someone who says "I don't know," comma, and then has like 4 run-on sentences of information?
So you do know. Tell us.
And I'm literal, so like literally, I don't know. My understanding and appreciation of Lynn playing up top is she covers a lot of ground and she puts a lot of pressure. She's a great defender in the attacking third, in the final third. And that's exciting to force turnovers, to I know that she takes really good care of her mind. I know my understanding, she takes really good care of her body. And that I perceive her as very self-aware and a great teammate. And she values what she brings to a team. And so I'm guessing there's some younger players who are pretty excited to play with Lynn because it's exciting to play with someone you've looked up to. I think she can fill that role. I think that I was listening to the Women's Game podcast, and she sounds excited to play for Lauren Harvey.
Yep.
And that's a good sign. And can she play 90 minutes every game? I don't know.
I do think they probably have. I mean, maybe it's not amazing, but they have decent depth at forward. So when she's not able
and
to
Jordan
play,
Heidemann. Yeah. I was just trying to think of. I don't have again.
still have Jess
wasn't-
Fishlock there.
right.
They have a pretty young, exciting back line, and then they have these young players
And Lou
like
Barnes is
Emery
still
Adams
playing.
and people who seems like Laura
Adonis.
Harvey.
Emery Adams or
Adonis,
Emery Adonis?
That they're excited. Laura Harvey has said even today in an article on their website that she's excited.
Again,
But
would
Lynn
have been cool
Williams,
if you had told me I needed to prepare for this.
it's way more fun when you're not prepared. Okay, so 39 days, the opener
Anna Maria Cernikonovic.
for I think she's still there.
Yeah, I don't think she is, but it's
Oh,
okay.
well,
But maybe.
we'll find out by the
Yeah.
next podcast. How about the Sounders? How'd you feel about the Sounders last year? I know you have opinions about this.
It was pretty lukewarm.
Yeah, maybe
But
less. Okay, yeah,
we got to see. We attended some pretty fun Sounders
That's true.
games last year, and I saw some bangers get scored, which is exciting, and I saw some wicked goalkeeping and defending. So, I mean, but
Hey,
every team has
you're
like
covering all the soccer
brilliance.
basics.
I know, but I know that's why I realize I'm saying that. I'm like, every team has flashes of brilliance.
I mean, they went to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah,
But
and that was exciting.
They were boring. It was boring soccer, from my opinion.
Correct, because and I had a much more thoughtful assemblage of thoughts on this exact topic watching the Western Conference Finals because I believe there was like a pretty neutral announcer.
Yeah.
Who was, I can't remember which announcer it was, who was articulating why it is so frustrating. Or you know what else? It might have been I was listening to your podcast
Oh, wow.
after the game. And it's just that it is an effective type. It is not exciting soccer.
Right.
It's effective soccer.
They were the best
And that's like what
defensive team
Americans
in
or
the
people
league.
who are anti-soccer, football, whatever. Right, which is such a cool accomplishment, but also did not make for exciting
I would
situations
argue,
all the time.
Yes. So Americans, I would call myself an American soccer fan. I'm not like a true soccer fan. I'm a
And you're not a
little
soccer hater
fair
all
weather.
the
I'm
time.
not a hater,
'Cause
but
there's definitely
I would
haters.
rather them be exciting than really good defensively. And people I know agreed, who are more soccer people, including Christian Roldan, who I actually don't know, but he agreed. He was like, "We were boring last year." So
Right. It might
they're
maybe it
in
was
Spain
that I heard.
right now
That's exciting.
for preseason,
Cute.
and they're
I
playing.
love that for them.
Yep, they're playing. Well, all reports are they're playing exciting soccer. The person who
Just all of a sudden they're playing.
no,
Look
like
at us. We're in Spain.
the
We're playing
people-
exciting soccer.
okay, well, I can go more into it. So the people who cover the team,
Who have the
who
drones.
have blogs or
drones.
no, you can watch the matches. They're televised.
Oh, they're playing matches. I thought you were saying
Yeah.
they were playing like
Okay.
training in Spain. I didn't
Okay. All right, so Pedro de la Vega,
gotta get their shit
who
together
wasn't
for the
great last year,
Club World Cup.
is playing really well supposedly. So that
Is
excites
he the
me.
young player that I call Mr. Glass?
Yes.
Okay.
He was hurt all last year. Your father, not a big fan. Jesus
of Mr.
Ferreira.
Glass.
Yeah, Jesus Ferreira's in the mix now.
Nice.
They've found Christian Roldan. They're going to play at a holding midfield spot permanently.
Mm.
He's excited about it because he's
Alex plays defense.
kind of Alex plays defense. We
And
kind of need
Christian
Alex
usually
to
is on the
find
wing,
another
but
spot.
they're kind of putting Christian in the middle now instead of on
Yeah.
outside.
So he was playing
Oh, shit.
outside for a while. Now he's going to be that holding mid. So that's interesting.
I've got
So,
two bleeps. So
I'm kind
far,
of
sorry.
excited about the Sounders.
The prospect of I'm excited too.
I think they'll be more exciting on offense.
Well, they better, or they're going to start losing season ticket holders.
Well, we already dropped our tickets. So.
I'm just saying in general.
But your dad
Steve
is going to be
Godrigo.
gone and offered us
We're going to
tickets.
go to the season opener
And I want to go.
on February 22nd.
Yeah, it's gonna be cold.
Haven't checked the family calendar yet, but
True.
I'm pretty sure we're going that day.
True. We do need to check the calendar.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's great.
Has it been an hour?
No, actually, there's a timer right there.
I just noticed it.
Okay.
It has
So-
been 29 minutes.
we're
Wait,
gonna-
is it falling asleep?
We're going to roll right into top 5.
Okay.
You've probably heard it before. Kevin and I do it. There's lots of different variations of it. We do,
Thanksgiving food.
Kevin had his famous take
Holiday
about
movies.
Away in a Manger, his favorite Christmas banger. That
Is
everyone.
is he catfishing you?
He's catfishing himself.
He caught a fish cat.
People who love listening to Kevin and reading his stuff still say things like, "Is he a real person?" Who really
Kevin
thinks
is a
Away in
real
a Manger
person. He's
is
amazing.
a great song? Okay, so this top five.
Can I just tell you what, when I said catfishing, can I tell you what I started thinking about?
Yeah, please. Everyone's dying.
That jaguars can catch like caimans and alligators.
Okay.
I was just trying to think of like a cat catching a fish.
Not like the
Or
Jacksonville
a fish
Jaguars.
catching a cat. But like a literal jaguar just being like, I'm hungry. And then just being like and catching a reptile and being like jugular, dead.
All right, top five is brought to you by Adderall.
Are you jaguar fishing?
And Ritalin. Okay.
I've never taken Ritalin.
All right, so top five this time is going to be a list format. So we're each going to give a list, and I gave you, this is the one thing you have prepared for. I'm going to go first, and then you'll go second. Okay? My top five.
I'm nervous because I just brain dumped and I didn't put them in order.
It's okay.
Can I just put them in order really quick?
It's okay. Well, we're live, so no,
Okay.
not really.
Okay, I'll do my best.
It's going to be okay. All right, here's my
And wait,
top five.
hold on,
If you
sorry,
could not
one other question.
snort and
I
sneeze
know,
on the
well,
podcast, that'd be great.
When do you say honorable mentions, first or last?
That's up to you. Personal choice.
Okay.
All right. Top five. Honorable mention for me.
So is that your sixth?
My top five is sporting places we visited together. Don't look.
We have
I'm going to
different
reveal to
lists.
you. Stop looking.
Sorry, I thought we had the same top five
No.
list. Okay, got it.
Okay. So,
okay.
all right.
I started getting really nervous.
All right. Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
So, honorable mention. I've already forgotten what my honorable mention was because you have now distracted me. Fifth on my list. I'm going to go from 5 to 1. Sporting places we visited together. Number 5, the Corn Palace in South Dakota.
Do you like this place? Because you wouldn't think with a name like Corn Palace, it has anything to do
By
with
the way,
sports.
corn with a C. Corn Palace.
It was not a music venue.
Corn Palace.
Not Reverse K Corn.
In South Dakota.
In Mitchell, South Dakota. You would think, what is a corn palace? It definitely has to do with celebrating harvest and corn, and it's made of corn, and it's a palace. But what does it have to do with sports, Brian?
Well, thanks, Dana. Literally, you need to Google the Corn Palace, or some of you have probably been there.
And also, it was
the whole
106 degrees the
outside
day we went.
is covered in corn kernels. Like it's
Not kernels and husks.
It's all corn. Like it's
corn.
not like
There's
you
nothing
go
that's not
inside.
corn.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so it's amazing, and it was very hot. You go inside, and for us, it was kind of like a bazaar. Like there was people selling things and different stuff, and I think it's like that most of the time. But it is also a high school / small college basketball arena inside with
State championships.
like a jumbotron on the top. I mean, a mini jumbotron hanging from the ceiling.
How
And
many
so the
people do you
Corn
think
Palace
it's
was
seats?
cool, and I want to see a basketball
Because
game.
like state basketball is cool no matter what state you're
True.
in, and so like if we're in South Dakota, and we can watch a state
Yeah.
final, and we are at the Corn Palace.
Yeah.
How cool is? I mean, like you made it to the palace. Like we make it to the
Totally.
dome here. You make it to the palace.
Totally.
Also, side note, Corn Palace. It was really hot the day we were there, and I think it's kind of like the Golden Gate Bridge. Like as soon as they stop doing the facade, the one year they start it again the next year. It takes quite a while, and it always one part is in progress, or it's just in the summer months because I can't imagine it even being possible to be out there when it's like negative 19 degrees.
Fair enough. Okay, number 4 for me.
Who's even looking at corn art in negative 19 degree weather?
Number 4 for me is Kauffman Stadium,
We don't alternate.
Kansas City Royals.
Okay. Why?
I think it was way cooler than I thought it was going to be. It's an old stadium. When we were on a road trip with the boys,
Same road
it
trip.
was the first, same road trip where we saw the Corn Palace. It was the first stadium where all 4 of us went, and we had a great time. And they have very cool features, like obviously the fountain that most people know if you've watched a Royals game. But it was a fun stadium. It was the first time we had ever experienced a 50-50 raffle, and we were convinced
gosh.
we were going to win.
Yeah, it was
Turns
gonna
out
pay the
it's
rest
really
of our
hard.
gas.
Yeah. Okay, number 3.
Odds are, but I've entered a lot of 50-50 raffles since.
Okay, number 3.
All optimistically. Number
Field
3.
of Dreams.
That was special.
This is hard not to make number 1. This is how good the top 3 are. So number 3, we went to Field of Dreams.
Same road trip.
Ames, Iowa? Where is it?
No, it's in
Danville, something like that? It's like some small town.
No,
There's like-
Davidsworth, David,
yeah.
Dobb.
There's one hotel, basically, motel in this.
I'm so mad at myself. I can't remember the
okay.
name of the town.
We decided to go as part of our trip, and Our boys loved it. We played catch on the actual Field of Dreams
Hey,
field.
Dad, do you want to have a
We
catch?
saw, yep, hey, Dad, you want to have a catch? Lincoln walked out of the corn, and then we found out you're not actually supposed to go in the corn.
I walked out of the corn. Like, we all walked out of the corn.
No, I was just saying Lincoln walked out of the corn. I was talking
You
about my
only
kids.
remember him? And that's when he used to say children, not just say children of the corn. He never said children of the corn. He always said children of the cornfield when he was young. He just knew it was a scary movie, and he always called it
Lincoln.
children of the cornfield. So I think that's what he was the most excited about.
That might be true.
Not so much the
Anyway,
movie. But we
it
did
was-
watch the movie before we went to
Yes.
the movie set.
It was amazing. Number 2.
Mm-hmm.
Busch Stadium, St. Louis Cardinals. Same
Easy.
road trip. St. Louis is such a baseball town. It was so
Dyersville,
cool.
Iowa. Dyersville, Iowa.
Thank you. St. Louis is so cool. The stadium is awesome. It was
All of it.
magical. It was a magical
We
place.
were all like, it was just like one of the best days of our road trip.
Yep. Number 1, different trip.
What do
I
you
had to
remember?
find a different trip.
Like, what do you specifically like?
These are supposed to be like quick top 5 lists, so we're going to move on.
This is gonna be so hard.
All right, number 1. Different time. Old Yankee Stadium.
Oh, the Yankee Stadium.
When we saw Roger Clemens against Felix
September 7th,
Hernandez.
2007.
The same weekend we got engaged in New
2
York.
days earlier, yeah.
We went and also saw Jake Locker play at the Carrier Dome, Syracuse.
Against Syracuse.
That's
his,
not
his first
in
game.
my top 5, even though it was a cool experience.
The
That
Carrier
stadium's
Dome
nothing cool.
is underwhelming.
Yeah,
And
it's
so
really so
is
big,
Syracuse.
so big. But Yankee Stadium, the old Yankee Stadium, was really, really cool.
Yeah.
And obviously seeing Roger Clemens against Felix, and Felix was amazing that day, was tremendous. We didn't know at the time we were going to name our son Felix.
Nope.
Maybe that's why.
And we thought that their season was going to turn around that day. Maybe they'll turn it around and have a winning streak, and they didn't. And I have 2 core memories from that game.
Okay.
We were in the bleachers.
We were in the
left field
bleachers, which was
is
super cool.
That's not one of them. But Old Yankee Stadium, it was the second or third time I had been. And the other time I was like way up in the 300 level, and that shit is scary. Sorry, that's the third time I swear. But you're like falling forward. It gives you a nosebleed. Left field bleachers were lovely,
Yeah.
and I remember wanting a pretzel because I love getting a pretzel at a sports venue, and it was the best pretzel I've ever got. You know, it's like such a cliche. You're like, oh, it's gonna be good, but it's like, what the heck? It was so good.
Okay.
And so I loved the pretzel, and I was like eating my pretzel, I was so happy. And then, what are those brass heads? The Hall of Memorial, the Wall of Legends.
Yeah. Monument Park.
Monument Park. They're just out there where people can crash into them.
Well, I don't think they were.
Are they protected? I just remember
Yeah.
there was something super sketchy,
Yeah.
and I did not feel like Memorial Park was safe.
Well, my memory of that was that I've never seen it, and I
Now
wanted
it's
to go really bad, and you and your friend Annie were like, no, we're cool, we'll go later. And we didn't check, and we went, and we couldn't go see Monument
Oh,
Park.
maybe that. But
That's my
We could have
memory.
gone early.
We could have, and we could have seen it. And so now I'm upset.
I saw the movie the Lou Gehrig movie
Yeah?
where Babe Ruth was himself and someone else was, and they
I got nothing. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay.
like the greatest.
Anyway,
day in
that's my top
baseball or
5. Here's my honorable mention. It doesn't really count.
something.
But my
What?
honorable mention
Fees or something.
is that we went when we were in London to Arsenal Stadium, and they were playing Villarreal in Champions League. And I had no concept of how cool Champions League was, and I thought we could just get tickets the day of, and we couldn't. But we got to see all the excitement in the match,
And the
and
scarves.
I'm going to
for
kind of
sale.
count that one. That was really cool.
Because
But
we were
that's
like
honorable
with all the
mention.
atmosphere. We
Yeah.
did get a scarf. Someone just gave us a
We
scarf,
did.
I think.
I know we
Also-
bought it. I bought it. I
Oh,
remember.
at a table.
Yeah.
And then also, I remember there's all these like little betting stores in
Yeah.
London, and I remember thinking like, oh, if we bet like £3, we could get £40 to the bet that the game was 3-1, and I was like,
Yes.
that seems like a
And
good
we-
bet, and,
and
we
we
didn't.
didn't, but that was
And
a
that the
score.
And we
Oh.
could have had 40 whole pounds.
We'd be living in London. Okay.
I'd be getting some bangers and mash.
Okay. Well,
Are you sure you want to
your
ask me my category?
your top 5 is
There's
just
7.
your top 5 sporting events you've attended live. It does not have to be with me. So that's
'Cause
a
they're
small
not all
difference.
with you, yeah.
Exactly. So here
Yours
we
are
go.
more like sports memories.
They were sports places, locations.
Sports
Yes,
places.
yours is sporting events you attended live. Here we go, Dana.
Oh gosh. Can't include the 1991 Velodrome Cycling National Championships in Redmond, Washington.
You shouldn't.
I was there.
Include that.
Well, yeah. Okay, so. Okay, I asked to do some little shuffling here. Okay. I have a weird mind, and sometimes I remember, or at least I think I remember the exact dates of games.
Okay, you can go for it.
Yeah.
People will fact check you. It'd be great.
Right. Thank you.
There's a subreddit
Get
where
ready.
people fact check
Get
our podcast.
ready to fact check me.
That's not true.
Okay, so honorable mention.
Okay.
This was at Seattle Prep High School.
Okay. So we don't call it that.
I know
Prep
Seattle Prep Preparatory Schools McHugh Gymnasium. When Lincoln's 7th grade Our Lady of Guadalupe team played St. Joe's, and they sent it with a 3-pointer into overtime. It was just really exciting. That's an honorable mention.
That's a good mom moment.
My another honorable mention. This was in my top 5, but then I shuffled. In 1991, I'm pretty sure it was the winter of 1991, I won a Sonics coloring contest. The people that called me said I destroyed the competition, and we got free tickets. And guess who they played?
Who did they play?
The LA Clippers. So we got tickets, free tickets in 1991. I don't know the date.
What date do you think it was?
Winter. It was definitely winter.
Okay.
It was like January or February. Winter. It was winter. I'm sure I have the ticket saved
I'm
if
sure
I
you
looked
do.
for it.
Go ahead.
Okay, they played the Clippers. It could have been 1992, but I'm pretty sure
Go
it
ahead.
wasn't.
Keep going.
We got free. I got
thought
to
there was
take
more.
my family to a Clippers game. My sister was in college. She didn't care. I took Cecile instead. The 4 of us went to a game. I got to be on court at halftime, and I got a gift certificate.
I didn't know this.
I got a gift certificate to Shakey's Pizza. It was
That's
so exciting, and or it was a Shaky. No, it was the anyway. It doesn't matter. Also, we were told wait here while they were like organizing the halftime show. And there was like 4 different age groups or whatever, and I won my 10 and 11-year-old age group or whatever.
a couple options here.
So, and we had to sit.
December or January? What do you think?
I think it was January.
Okay. Go ahead. Keep
Okay, but it could have been December. I don't know. I'm pretty sure. What was the date? Maybe that'll help me remember.
going. January 16th, 1992.
Or
you say it was 91.
and it was definitely at Key Arena.
1991 season then, maybe. Yeah, this is tough.
Yeah, I just don't know if it was 6th
Okay.
or 7th grade. I'm
It's-
pretty
we're
sure it was
boring
6th
people
grade.
now. Okay.
Sorry.
Go
I'm
on
pretty
to
sure
the
it was
next
6th grade. Anyway, they told us to wait in the players' chairs, and so this ties me to like when I watch the NBA today, and they have all these like super chairs, and they're like sitting up, and they have all this padding. They were the most padded foldable chairs I'd ever seen. It felt like 5 inches of foam, both on the back and on the seat part. They were like the fanciest fold-up chairs I'd ever seen, and they were drenched in sweat. And it was so yucky because they were like, wait here. And then we were like sit here. And we are like, okay. And then all of us sat. And then we are like, yeah, I don't want to sit on that chair. That's
You were
all.
probably sitting in either Sean
That's all.
Kemp or Olden Polonice's sweat. They were both really sweaty guys.
What year was Sean Kemp a rookie?
He would have been in his 2nd or 3rd year.
Yeah, because it was like barely I knew who that was. But I knew who it was. But I'm guessing it was 6th grade.
Well,
so I'm
you were
guessing it
more
was the
into the coloring
1991.
contest, so- Okay.
I think it was the 1991.
Next one.
And I wish I had. Obvious question is, can we see the coloring contest? I cannot produce that for you. Sorry. Okay. On to my actual list. Okay.
Oh, we haven't even started.
No,
okay.
that was all
right.
honorable
Well, the
mention.
podcast can only go so long. Here we go.
Okay. In 5th place is August 31st, 1991. Big year for me seeing sports. Mariners game versus the Royals. Bo Jackson was playing.
Oh, that's good.
And that's not what made it awesome.
Well, that would.
And it was the first game that Ken Griffey Sr. and Ken Griffey Jr. played together. And I remember at home, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
It was a big deal. And it was August 31st.
That's
I
really
remember that.
cool.
Yeah.
That's a
I
good
totally remember it. Probably was with my grandpa would do like penny bets with me all the time to keep me focused, if that sounds familiar at all to you when you take your children to Mariners games. Okay, so that was number 5.
Yeah.
And I remember understanding the gravity of the moment, and everyone made it really clear what was cool about that moment. And I'm sure I stayed all 9 innings and paid fully close attention because I have no idea who won that game, but you're going to look it up. And I loved Bo Jackson, and I thought he was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because he was pretty cool. The fourth game was, yep, this is fourth. Maybe this should have been fifth. Sonics versus Kings playoff game in 2005.
Yeah.
And I couldn't stop saying crybaby for Mike Bibby.
You didn't like Mike Bibby.
Because he was whining a lot, so I would just be like, crybaby, crybaby. And then I remember there was a bigger guy with like a beard that was on that. Brad Miller.
Mm-hmm.
And then I could probably make a list of the worst things I've ever said at live sporting events as a fan, but that was one of them. So that was so much fun to be there and just like everyone cheering, and we had no idea the team was about to be taken away. All that. Okay.
And we had tickets to the whole series.
And we had tickets, so it's like 3 games.
And then we watched them play the Spurs in the next series. You might not have gone to all of them, but you went to a fair amount of them.
Yeah.
We were dating. We weren't married yet.
No, we were like early. It had been a year. We were like early dating. Like, I mean, like this was in the first, remember I was gone for like the first 6 months of the first year we dated. Okay. Number 3. I went to a Mariners playoff game in 2000 against the Yankees. Was it 2000?
You did, yes, 2000.
Or 99.
Well,
99.
2001 is when they won all the games.
Yep, but I was in
the year
East
before
Coast,
they also played the Yankees in 2000.
2000, yeah. And my uncle waited in line at a Rite Aid on like Whidbey Island, and he got us 8 tickets, and it was so much fun. Yeah. And the stadium was full, and I had that same feeling that Lincoln felt like this is the funnest baseball game ever because it's so full and so energetic.
Nice.
Okay. That gives me, these aren't in order. I know what my number 1 is and my number 2, but okay. Yeah. The next game that I want to give a shout out to is the Sounders winning that Special Cup.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
On May 2nd, May 7th.
Leagues Cup?
May 7th.
Whatever it was? I don't know.
It was so fun.
It was
and we almost didn't go, and we were really tired, and we were like, we were dragging our feet. It was so much fun. Again, crowd energy really affects me. And they played well, and like it was good soccer, and like it was like, oh, it's just great. I loved it. Yeah. I think it's so stupid that it's in my top 5, and what my notes say, Sounder winning that Special Cup.
It's like an honorable mention, because I think you're...
Well, I did have it as an honorable mention.
Yeah, you're number 2 and you're number 1. I know what they are.
Okay.
Okay, so you're number 2.
I did it. The Mariners playoff game that was 18 innings long.
I think it was 2022.
2022. Yep, it was. It was 2022. Because it was just 2 years. Yeah. Yes. It was 2022.
18 innings,
it was
lost 1-0.
August or October, whatever.
Super
I say
smoky.
7th. It had been smoky that day. Soccer games had been canceled. We went. Our dog was new to us. We had only had her for like 2 months. We were like, we're sorry, Delilah. We're going to go to a baseball game now. And we never came back. We just never came back. It was.
Was it like 6 hours?
9 hours later. No, it was a 7+ hour game. We were standing on the concrete for 7+ hours. 7-hour game.
Felix melted down.
18 innings.
And he really liked
so
baseball. So
anticlimactic. Lincoln, 3rd inning, he was like, this is the best baseball game I've ever been to. And we're like, yeah. And we have a before and after picture that's epic. Yeah. One of the kids is flipping the camera off in the after picture. I've got rally shoes on my head. Our body, I was like so emotionally, physically.
Yeah.
I was so.
It was exhausting.
I gave it all.
Yeah.
And we had really cool seats because we were up against the glass at T-Mobile. So we could like look out and see this beautiful sunset, which we were not planning to pay for.
Right.
And, sorry, this is getting long. And anyway, it was just great. And I'm so sad, of course, that they lost, but it was such a cool thing. I was most impressed. The MVP of that game for me was the person that puts on the like show because they had to keep putting graphics up every inning.
Remember they kept doing like a new rally.
Yeah.
They had so many in the bank.
18 of them.
My critique of that game was that they stopped selling concessions in like the 9th inning.
That was a problem.
And then it was a full another baseball
But we
game.
watched somebody break up. Remember we were like spying on people having like a relationship fight, and then they calmed down and then they were just like talking. We're like, and then like everyone in our row was like, I think they're breaking up. That's not a really good non-visual story to tell.
It was a lot.
We like built a community with the people around us, and like I still see them. I don't.
No,
okay, my number 1, hands down,
easy
sporting event. July 5th, 2015, Vancouver, Canada. What's the stadium? BC Place Stadium.
Yeah.
I knew it would come to me. The pregame was amazing. The postgame was amazing. We went and did all the festivities, made a weekend of it with my best friend, Claire Fenton. I don't know if Claire's listening, but I know Justin is. The women's 2015 World Cup final. Claire and I bought tickets to that game months in advance. As soon as tickets opened, we bought tickets to the final. We got really nice seats for a very reasonable price.
Yep.
Because we didn't care who was in the final. We were just going to go make a weekend of it.
Yep.
We probably paid like maybe $60 each for those tickets, maybe even less, maybe $40 each for those tickets. We could have sold them for $1,500 each, I think. People were so eager to go to that once the U.S. made it to the final. And what a final it was. 5-2, beating Japan. I got to see Hope Solo as an athlete absolutely blow my mind. She's like a cat. She was so amazing. I mean...
Like a jaguar?
No. Oh. Way more nimble than a jaguar.
Oh, okay.
Marshawn Lynch is more like a jaguar.
Oh.
Powerful, low to the ground.
Okay.
But
the highlight, besides the soccer, was you were fully face painted.
Right? There was a lot of fan fest things, and Claire and I went to some stairs.
We had a USA tank top on.
We were all red, white, and blue. Some, Mardi Gras beads.
And after the
face paint,
first goal of the game by Carly Lloyd, who had a hat trick, if I remember
within
right, 16
minutes, yeah.
We were watching at my parents' house. We being the boys, myself. Well,
it was 4 minutes and 30
boys
seconds
were little,
into the game.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, everybody goes, "Wait,
pause!
That's Dana."
Freeze frame.
Many have seen it who are our friends, but Dana is full on the only person on the screen.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of people, and Claire's in my armpit. Claire's in my armpit. Claire's also in the picture. I will stand by that. And we're both. You can see that we both have our faces painted, and it's in slow motion, and I'm shaking my USA scarf above my head.
Famous moment.
Yeah, when the pandemic hit and all sports ended, they were replaying some feel good sporting events, and that one was on. And I called everybody in the house. I was like, it's at 4 minutes and 34 seconds. Everybody, come watch.
But also, when that happened, Gail and
Oprah's best friend, she was on an airplane. She was watching.
Tweeted about you.
She took a picture of her little airplane screen and said, I love this girl. And it's only 1-0 because it was only 1-0 at the time.
She loved you.
And then we tweeted at her. We had this whole strategy. Yeah. Claire and I were like, we got to get to the ticker tape parade in New York City. And burp, crickets. Yeah. It's okay. But it was,
but now
so
you're
good.
friends with Gail's. No, you're not. Okay. Well, Dana, that was a fantastic list.
Well, I'm sorry the podcast is so long.
This is normal for us.
Oh, I thought you were going for like 35, 45 minutes.
Well, you have goals in life and then whatever. So, it was great to have you on the Wifecast.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here. Real quick.
Yep.
That Mariners-Royals game was in 1990, not 1981, but you had the right date.
It was right before I started 6th grade.
And the Mariners won 5-2, and Randy Johnson was pitching also. So it's quite a game.
I'm sure that was pointed out to me.
I just did it.
I'm saying like that might be another reason why who was pitching for the Royals?
Oh.
Stinking it up.
Who knows?
Did you say that they won 5-2?
Storm Davis lost for the Royals. I remember
that's
him.
a cool name.
How about the fact that your man Bo Jackson, he went 1 for 3. He was okay. Randy was really good that day, actually.
Yeah, well, he was pitching his Randy.
Alvin Davis, 2 for
Mr.
2.
Mariner.
Jay Buhner, 2 for 3.
I almost put the home run derby on here. I met Alvin Davis at the home run derby.
Is a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. I was on TV again, but just a smaller version of me.
I'm looking for Randy and what he did. 7 1/3 innings, 2 runs. He was great. All right. Well, wait for it, Seattle. Go to the Substack.
What are we waiting for now?
Seatown Sports. The Sonics to come back.
Okay, I just want to make
sure
we have
the Mariners to win a World Series.
Right.
Those two would be the 2 big ones for me.
Yeah, I was listening to people talk about the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Today, and it made me kind of feel like when they focus on the Super Bowl or the World Series and they talk to fans, I'm always like, oh, like I remember feeling that way one time when the Giants were in the World Series, and I was like, oh.
Oh, what?
I hope we get to feel
Oh,
that
yeah.
way sometime.
Well-
But that was before the Super Bowl, and then we got 2 Super Bowls in a row. Remember, there was a time that Felix, there was only a time where he knew this team making
We've
it to
achieved some things, but we're still waiting. So,
Yeah.
all right. Next week, Kevin will be back when
waiting.
he's not working so much. Unless
Kevin.
unless Dana takes the spot. See ya.
Bye.